Welcome back to ALW Collectibles. Today is video 2 of the 2-pack Hearts of Steel Transformers sets. This time we're taking a look at Timeline's Optimus Prime and Timeline's Starscream. Really cool looking sets. Like I said before, Hearts of Steel, great comic series. 4-issue mini comic series. Awesome read if you get a chance to read it. Of course, Optimus Prime is based on an unused model for the comics, and Starscream was actually in the comics in this form. And they look really cool. Again, this is a look at the box on them as well. My previous video, I did a full look at the boxes. So we're not going to do the same thing this time. With the set, you get the nice display box, the instructions, and a really cool cap for it. Scoot it right away for a second. This is the sleeve for the box, and I love this artwork. This looks phenomenal. And then it just goes into the steampunk. I should say steam trunk. And that's the same thing this is. Transformers. Quick look, it makes a steam trunk. You got the Autobot symbol on one side. Decepticon symbol on the other. Legal information on the bottom. Really nice set. And I will do an updated video to show you how I've displayed them. Slide that aside, and let's take a look at the boys themselves. Optimus and Starscream. And they look really nice. A little smaller than a normal deluxe right now. But still, very articulate and very, very detailed. And seeing as how Starscream actually was in the comic, we're going to start with him. So we're going to put Prime aside for a minute and take a look at Starscream. And why that fell back down, I don't understand. That should be over his head. New concept for Starscream, looks really cool. I realize he's not centered in frame. Of course, his standard gray and red color scheme with blue highlights, red highlights, the Decepticon symbols. And that looks really sharp. I must say, I was a little nervous when I saw photos of this. The propeller does turn. I was really concerned with the way he was going to look. A lot of rivets on the design, which I think adds to the look. Very unique concept. Not a lot of gapping. It's like in the legs is pretty much the only gapping on him. These guns on his forearms, he does come with forearm guns, and they do remove. They're cast in gray. With a little bit of design work on them. Feel rivets on there. And they're not left and right, they're universal. So, doesn't matter what side you put on each side. And Starscream himself looks really sharp. New head sculpt for him, though. He does have fins on the side of the head. Of course, the head done in the traditional black and silver. And he does have red eyes, even though they're very hard to see. I like the gold crest right in front of the face, because it really doesn't block the eyes, but does protect the mouth. See more of that rivet detail going down the sides on the panel. Kind of reminds me of Air Razor from Transmetal 2. just with the tail and how the wings are set, and the propellers on the top do turn. You can angle this if you wish, or if it's set, it's supposed to set in here, a little over his head. That's how the instructions say to do it. I've been laying it flat on his back just to give him a back bling behind the head. Little contrast because it's a blue with the black, and I think it just looks really nice like that. That's how I have him displayed, or should say, am displaying him. Articulation is amazing with this figure. The outer wing does fold in and out. The propeller turns. Arm, of course, will go up, down, and even the detail back here looks pretty cool. And on the side, right here, out, full rotation, and elbow. Head does turn all the way around. It is a little tricky, but it does go all the way around. And of course, this propeller turns. These will go up and down. This plate will go forward, allowing you to do movement. He is hindered on the hip. It's kind of hard to see. There is a pin on the top of the hip that kind of blocks his foot going forward. Back very slightly. Thigh rotation. Knee bend. Ankle. Very posable. Little bit of design I'm not care for, but they are there for transformation, so they kind of work together. And transformation for him is kind of unique. So we're going to get into that right now. First thing you're going to do with him, this back panel, which is silver, you can see the gray and there's the silver piece. That's going to come up and just sit up above like that. You can jump a few steps and just flip that up if you want now. Next, we're going to come to the front. And I'm going to bring his... I've done this twice now. Aha. Chest. The chest plate from right underneath the propeller is going to come up like that. So this whole piece comes up. We're going to take the arms and we're going to bring them inward so that his fists are on the inside. Reason being, and we're going to bring them up like so. There's a peg here in the middle of the fist and a port right here on the wing. That's going to plug into that. That's going to plug into that like so. So that's what we look like currently. Next, this section with the hip guards is on a separate piece from this blue piece. So you're going to separate that and bring that up. Now, before we go any farther, we're going to take his guns and plug them into his forearms again, go in the opposite direction. I was reading the instructions saying, how is this going to work? And then when it did, I was like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, this little panel comes up, and you'll notice the two spots on the top will plug into the two spots on the wing. Right over the gun like that. Same thing on the other side. And then this plate just flips down. So that's what we look like currently. Next, we're going to take the blue section here, flip it down. That's going to go out this way, flip out this way, and flip out this way. They're going to come out so that the feet are pointing inward and the wheels are on the bottom. These are going to turn to 90-degree angles. I'm going to pull this down so you see there's a pin here and a port there. And that's where that's going to clip in. 1, 2. That comes up in the back, and then this just comes back down on the top. And there is Starscream in his steampunk engine mode. Helicopter mode. And that is really unique. I'm trying to figure out if it's actually my camera angle or if it's actually... Oh, that comes down, I'm sorry. Like that. Because that's where the wheel is. Boop. And that's the only issue with moving these guys is I had an issue with Megatron, with him not staying put too. Yeah. So you want to angle that so the wheel's on the bottom and it lines up with those wheels. There we go. And that is Starscream in his steampunk helicopter mode. That looks really cool, I thought. That looks really cool. You got the guns here. And just bring these out a tiny bit, and that allows that propeller to open. Propeller to move freely. And that's the issue I have with my mold, is that they constantly let go. They don't really clip in, they just sit in there. So that was really sharp. Next we'll put him aside, and we will take a look at Optimus Prime. Little anorexic for an Optimus Prime, really thin-waisted and thin-bodied, and I think I just smacked my camera. But still, looks really sharp. I like this. I like the train modes. I think they look really cool. In the concept art that I've seen, he actually had a trailer. This does not have a trailer with it, though. He does have two accessories, one being his shield / roof, which is blue with the Autobot symbol on it. And he does have a blaster, which is also the smokestack, cast in black. And when we transform him, we will transform that as well. Let's take a look at Optimus himself, and that looks really nice. I love this design on the chest and how it sits. I can still see like it coming down forward and exposing the matrix, possibly. Has a great sculpt on the Optimus Prime head. Blue with the silver. Really gives the Optimus vibe with the overall look. I love the gold going off the sides of the chest. Kind of reminds me of the white stripe from the original toy. Or silver stripe, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Diaclone for a second. Even on the back, again, not much gapping. Back of the legs, little hollowness in the bottom of the legs, but really nice other than that. Again, rivet panel design. You can see them there. Metallic blue for the inside parts. That really does. And I love the train wheels on the sides here. I think it just really sets the whole toy apart. Articulation all the way around, up and down, full exorcist. Shoulder. Now for transformation, you do have a hinge here. This I thought was rather unique. The bicep is there. Elbow, nothing at the wrist. Nothing at the waist. Now these will slide out of your way. Foot is still hindered though. But he does have an incredible back boot. Can do the splits. He does have thigh rotation, knee bend, and ankle tilt. And on the there's a lot of rivet detail going down each corner. Really, really nice. So for transformation, first thing we're going to do is transform the smokestack. You're going to open his gun up at the front, flip the barrel in, and just close that. Put those aside. We're going to start on the back with this one. Well, I should say the sides, and just bring his shoulders back. We're going to bring this whole panel out. It's on a double hinge. This panel comes up. This is going to... Alright, Optimus, you're being a pain in the butt. That folds up like that. Kind of hard to see. I'm trying to get this in here in camera. You're supposed to be able just to collapse it in on itself. And this is going to come over the top and clip right in. We're going to bring his arms back to neutral. Bring it up, fold it in. Turn it in, bring it up and fold it in. Like so. And these will clip into place with each other and behind that, forming the top of the train. These come down and they will tab into here. See, now he has a waist rotation. There. Ah! He does not want to clip in this time. There. Now this is a little misleading though, because these are supposed to clip together, and you'll notice they're in the way. And I did that on purpose, because when I first transformed him, I tried to do this. And I did that to show how sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, of course. Of course. Fold down and up. Fold down and out. And that takes care of that issue. These come in at an angle like so. Same on the other side. So that's what we have now. Now you're going to fold the leg up on itself. Clip them together on the bottom. And then bring this whole thing up. Small note. There is a tab point behind the knee and a tab here. Now you can clip them early, and the instructions actually say to do that. I found if you leave them slightly open, these go in really nice. Da-da-da. As it's going to make me look like a liar now. Right. Why? Because I'm doing the video. Even though I just did this like 10 minutes ago. just did this 10 minutes ago without a problem. There we go. And nope. There. Now you're going to take this piece, the Autobot symbol, as I throw it on the thing, goes in the front. Because there's two parts underneath. Just like so. And then the train, there's that spot there. There's two here, and the handle goes backwards. Voila. Optimus Prime in his steam locomotive mode. And that looks really nice. I think that is really cool. Sorry, I didn't realize my camera was completely off kilter. I'm looking at the screen and it's like... And that's when all the rivet panels and everything line up just so nicely on this guy. A little bit of gapping in here. But you still have that 5mm peg right there on each side. But overall, I really like him. He rolls nicely. I think he looks really sharp. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. And what you think of the two sets for the Heart of Steel. This has been the review for the Heart of Steel, Transformers, Timelines, Optimus Prime, and Starscream. Let me know how you first experienced him. Was it through a friend? Word of mouth? Did you read the comics? I really want to know. This has been ALW Collectibles. If you like what you see, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you wish. Comments are always welcome. I want to say thank you to all the channel subscribers. I do appreciate it very much. I'll catch you in the next video. Hope you have a good day.